All right. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can change my background right quick since it's showing me like that. Move this down. Background. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Admit him. All right. So I'm working out three screens. So if I'm looking crazy because of that, let me go live on TikTok real quick. Make that screen go. All right. So we on an off week. I'm gonna change my weeks to the first and third. Mondays, unfortunately, I gotta change. I am a school teacher. And because I am a school teacher, I do have other obligations that happen on Mondays. If you want to learn more about our coaching program, you're more than welcome to visit um, investingnow2021.com. That'll just let you know more about me and some of the books I authored and some other things that are going on. So we're on TikTok Live in one area. We on Investing Now YouTube channel in another area. And I'm looking at three different screens. So not going to talk much more about that part. You just go to my website. That's the website right there, investingnow2021.com if you want to know more about me. We're going to get right into it. Look, real estate is one of those things that you can definitely lay into and benefit from in so many different ways. I found that as a kid, I wanted to make an impact in life in some shape, form, or fashion. So happened, I dreamed about real estate. I love real estate, and I seen so many people that's in need. There's a vast need for people that want to help people in real estate. Now, of course, you can go be a real estate agent, work for a broker company, and go out there and just write deals for the broker company, and the broker company get a percentage and blah blah blah. Of course, you can go out there and work in mortgages and get in the business of, hey, loans and checking the boxes and sending the underwriting and letting the underwrite come back. Of course, you can go out there and become a lawyer or attorney or some shape, form, or fashion where you basically just working on contracts and making sure the contracts make sense. It's all kinds of ways of doing real estate, right? You may want to be an appraiser. Maybe you want to go out there and get on roofs and look at whether inspections and look at ceilings and look at plugs. It's so many ways. I personally choose to deal with people that have a property. They no longer want that property, but they don't want to go through all these contracts with so many different people and don't want to have to sit on a market and wait for someone to sell it. So you have people out there that have a time sensitive item. They have a problem and they want to get rid of it now. They want it in 30 days. They don't want to go through no bank. They don't want to go through a real estate agent. They don't want to go through buying and selling problems. They just want to get rid of their problem. That is a great transaction in real estate. Then you have a person that making too much money and they need to put their money in somewhere other than a bank. They would like to buy real estate as a rental portfolio and make their money make money. Those people, I'm sorry, I got people waiting to get in. I'm sorry. Um, those people are busy working their regular 9 to 5 or whatever kind of job they have. They don't have time to go find deals, drive communities, write contracts, and look for deals. So they have the money, limited time to play with. You have a person with a problem, need to get rid of their problem ASAP. Your job as a wholesaling person, shall I say, expert, whatever you want to call it, using a wholesaling strategy. You're not a wholesaler. You're a wholesaling strategy in real estate. You finding people with problems they want to get rid of. You finding people that want to buy more, and you just marry them together with your contracts. You write a contract with this person. You write a contract with that person. You're the middle person and you have that little gap in between. That's where you receive your income. You don't have to worry about a broker taking any of your percentages. You don't have to worry about other folks saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, because it's me, myself, and I says that you have a problem. I wrote a contract for this. You have a problem. I wrote a contract to solve your problem. Do that work for you? Do that work for you? Well, here's my piece of the middle. Has nothing to do with neither one of them. It's about me getting rid of that problem, me solving your problem, and I get a profit. That's what we do. Now, when I have newbies coming into real estate, you have a problem. You have no experience, you have limited confidence, and you want somebody to help you out. Why do you want to learn how to deal with the seller and the buyer all at once? Right? Why? Why would you want that headache? No, you don't. You don't want that headache. So I'm saying that, hey, I got experience working with buyers. I'm a buyer. First, I'm a buyer. Second, everybody I know want to buy properties in these areas. If you go shop these areas and you find the deals, we can do a joint venture and split the profit. And I can give you some money. You get some experience, you get mentored, you get coached, you get trained, you build your confidence up until you get to the point where you want to work with both the buyer and the seller. That's the difference in what I'm offering you. And I call that a wholesaling hack. That's what I call it, a wholesaling hack. I don't know how to play games, guys. It's wholesaling hack. It's a JV partnership, a JV partnership. So in the first steps, I teach you how to go find deals. I already did that. Already in Google Drive, got all the documents, got your paperwork right here, got all the contracts that you need in place. Next thing I have, after we go there, step 2, which we'll talk about tonight, right? I'm not going to go in strong detail about it, but I will go into some detail about it. This I created when I was in North Carolina. I've lived in Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Virginia, and North Carolina, and I have houses in all those areas, most of those areas, and Mississippi. Yeah, I said Mississippi. I made it. All right, Mississippi, and I have houses in everywhere besides Atlanta. I did not buy in Atlanta. I was scared. That was a long time ago when I first started. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over a little bit market analysis. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. And this is something I created while I was in Mississippi. I did this for me. Let's be honest. I did it for me. Somebody's waiting again. I'm sorry. All right. I got 3 screens, guys. So if I'm looking all crazy, because I am crazy, I'm not going to discount that. However, I got a couple screens. All right. So what I'm going to do is I have not reviewed this. I have not went over it. This is straight from scratch. So forgive me if I stumble a little bit. You'll be all right. This is for your help. So the rental housing market. Now, why are you in real estate? Thank you for asking. That was a great question. Some people, I'm in school for finance right now. I just asked my financial teacher that's teaching us a 650 class, how would he tell us to invest into the stock market buying options? I already have this information, but I need a grade, right? And I need to make sure he know that I'm listening. So I decided to just ask that question. He said, I don't like to do options. I only invest into mutual funds and I buy them every month. And I have a nice portfolio of mutual funds because it's safe. Options. Tesla not going nowhere. Apple not going nowhere. Microsoft not going nowhere. I am not an advisor in stock, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, they're not going anywhere. So if you buy an option in there at a nice price, and you wait for a year, 3 years, I forgot what term I had. I think it was a 3-year term. You know it's going to be worth more than 3 years, and you got the money to buy them. Buy. That's what I did. So why am I in real estate? Because I know that real estate can be worth more later than today. it's my great grandma that bought a house did not pay the same price that we're buying houses for now. Common sense approach. Guys, I believe in kids. Keep it simple, stupid. So why am I in real estate? If I buy today, 30 years down the line, the house is going to be worth more than what it was when I bought it today. That is my stock. That is my option. That is my stock market. That's it, plain and simple. You buy a house today, 30 years down the road, the house going to be worth a lot more than what you pay for it now. So that's why I'm in real estate. So the rental market, just as houses. All right, hold on. What I got right here. All right. So this when I was showing people what we have to teach about and what we're going over and my schedule. Okay, got it. Yeah, yep. Last year I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot. So this was last year PowerPoint. All right. What factors? I may need to make this a little bit small. All right, you can see it. All right. So, hmm, that's a zoom button right there. So that means zoom the other way. What factors rank highest? All right. So we'll talk about these things. There's the key points that we'll talk about. I already gave you wholesaling. What's wholesaling about? Now, the second part of wholesaling, once you get a wholesaling, the next step is to burr. So my market, I'm transparent. Y'all got a transparent guy right here. We start with wholesaling. We look for deals. You split profit. You make money. As you make money for splitting profit, you get more confidence and you start wholesaling deals. Once you start selling deals, working with the seller and the buyer, you make bigger income. You build your cash flow up to buy your first rental property. Get what I'm saying? I'm teaching you the strategy, how to get in the game and then how to grow your business. Right behind me, right? It started with at the bottom is wholesaling and it go all the way up to a franchise. That's what's behind me. That's my model in my head. That's my vision board right there. Let me teach you how to make your money make money. Let's make your money make some money. Then you start buying a property and either you fix it up and you flip it over to somebody else, fix and flip, or you fix it over and you keep it for yourself. Burr, you buy it, you rehab it, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat it over and over again. Those are the strategies I use. When you have a person that want to move out of town, I was active duty military. I had soldiers buying houses. They had to leave. When they leave, they like, I don't want to put it in the market. I don't want to do this. I'm upside down. I paid 20 grand over the price. I can't sell it. I'm on a lose. Guess what you can do? Subject to it to me for this price. And I'll cover everything and you walk away. And then when you're ready for it back, just let me know. And we'll just sign the paperwork back over to you. You have your house back. I'm going to profit while you do this. You don't got to worry about no rent. You ain't got to worry about no toilet. You ain't got to worry about no storms. You ain't got to worry about nothing. It's all me. Subject to it over to me. I'm going to acquire it. You're going to keep on moving. And you're going to keep on growing. And you're going to keep on doing what you do. Guys, this is a sexy thing when you do subject to. So again, we start with wholesaling. We make money. The profit we make from wholesaling, we buy our first property. We may buy a property that's busted up and disgusted. We're going to renovate it and we may keep it, or we're going to renovate it and we're going to flip it. And we're going to make a bigger profit and we're going to repeat that over and over again. Whichever one floats your boat. I like to buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. I keep my portfolio growing because in 30 years, that stock is going to be worth so much more than what it's worth today. That's just bottom line. All right. I beat that dead horse. Why real estate? Man, let's make me zoom in a little bit. Y'all may can't see that. So why real estate? Guys, this is my main reason. Appreciation. 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 My great grandma bought a house. The house is worth a lot more than what she paid for it. I have the house. If I acquire that property and I do some upkeep on that property, do some maintenance on that property, I can rent that property out for so much more. And guess who bought it? My great grandma bought it. My great granddaddy bought it. My father or my mom, them took care of it. Now I acquire it. I have no skin in the game. I didn't put nothing in it. It's all profit. Beautiful, right? Leverage equity. When I say refinance, you pull all that money out, that profit out, and you go buy 3 houses. The first time I did my first deal, I used a line of credit, a home equity line of credit, a HELOC. I took the equity out of the house I was living in, and I went and bought a rental, and then I went and bought another rental, and the rent from this house paid both of those mortgages. So the rent from this house came in my pocket. That's it, right? When I said, oh my God, this is how they doing it. Then I said, okay, I bought these 2 houses with my cash. I refinanced this house. I refinanced this house. I paid my loan off. I don't have a home equity line of credit that have a debt on it. And then I got cash to go buy two or three or four or five more houses. I refinanced, took the equity out the houses and bought more. That's how you do business. I'm cutting it dry, guys. I'm not playing no games with you. I'm telling you exactly what I did because I need you to go and take action, whether it's with me, whether it's with somebody else. Just take some actions. Secure your family. Let's make some money. Not with me. Make some money in your family. Let's just go make money. Please don't blame the government. Please don't blame the market. Please don't blame nobody besides you and your inability to take action. Because right now is the time. The government gonna be jacked up forever. The market gonna be jacked up forever. Your job gonna be jacked up forever. All them excuses, take them away. You gotta make a decision to say, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, or I'm not. And I'm gonna keep complaining. That's it. Why the most, and I'm gonna stop beating this dead horse. Retirement, saving plans. I tell my students, please don't count on the government. Please don't count on your job. Right now, with the new administration that's in office, they done rattled a lot of people jobs that thought they had a job that was secure. Case in point. And I've been preaching this since 2021. Do not trust a system, create your own systems, and now you have something to trust. And I hate to say it, but that's a fact. You cannot depend on no one else, guys. You have to create your own. And this real estate strategy is one that you create on your own that I'm giving you a blueprint. Wholesale to gain profit. Use that profit to buy a house. Buy a house, make it a rental, buy a house, fix and flip it, and sell it to somebody for a bigger profit. Take that money, buy more houses. Do whatever you want to do. Your strategy, you do it. You want to build your rent portfolio up, you want to do fix and flips. What's the negative about fix and flips? 20% of your money is going to Uncle Sam on a fix and flip. It's a short-term investment, and now you got to pay a lot more interest or taxes whenever you sell it. Short term. It's like a stock. If you buy stocks on a daily basis and you sell them quickly, you're paying a higher percentage of interest. If you buy and keep it for longer than a year or longer than 3 years or 4 years, then guess what? You don't have to pay as much capital gain when you sell. It's a stock, right? All right, I'm done with that. All right. I like to have a little fun. When it's come to strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats, right? SWOT analysis. Unfortunately, the interest rates goes up and down, but fortunately, you can carry that on your taxes. I know some people are excited about carrying stuff on their taxes. Some people have so much money that they need stuff to carry on their taxes. And that's when you benefit from partnering with people that, I'm sorry, y'all, somebody just texted me. That's when you benefit from partnering with buyers that have a problem, right? That need a tax write-off. So you can kind of work with them and use that, leverage their income to buy the property where the interest, lever their loans, and they're paying interest on that loan, and then they got some carry off their taxes. And then y'all work a deal out on who ownership and who get paid what, right? So there's so many different ways of doing it, and I have done that. I have used my loans to buy properties for someone else. They service the loan and they pay me a percentage over it so that for me to make a profit. And when they refinance or their business, they pay me off and I make another lump sum, right? I have done that a few times. Increasing sellers. If a lot of people starting to sell at the same time, the market can get kind of watered down. Then people get anxious and want to buy, right? That's that, right? But if you got a lot of folks that no, hold on. I'm sorry. That's a script. When a lot of folks start selling, then the market go down, and guess what? You can buy more because now they got more competition. All right. So I'm sorry. I flipped that around. Opportunities, foreclosures, man, listen. When I tell you a foreclosed person is in distress, they're in distress. Not only are they hurting, well, let's say pre-foreclosure. First, pre-foreclosure. They're embarrassed that they're going to lose their property. They don't want to face the fact that they're about to lose their property. And then it's an embarrassment if they lose their property. So if you catch them while they're in pre-foreclosure, you got 3 reasons right off the bat to help them out. If it's in foreclosure, then hey, maybe you can go and bail the bank out and get that off their portfolio, their books. Because if their foreclosures on their books, it don't look good for their portfolio. They need to get that off their books, and you can work a deal out. So that's when short sales come in. You can start doing short sales and help the bank say, hey, sell it to me for this price so we can get off your books. Right? That's a way of doing it. Creative financing, man. I'm telling you, creative financing, subject to the existing loan, lease options, seller finance. All those are creative financing deals, right? I do all those. I do all those, right? Weaknesses. All right. When the market has limited properties, now this is where I was talking about. When they have limited properties on the market, that can cause for a problem because you got hit. Well, that's another thing. But you got other folks that's willing to swoop up those deals quicker, and they may have the money that can do it. Lack of capital. You don't have any money. That's a weakness. That's why I'm teaching you strategy of wholesaling. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to tell you, start with wholesaling. It don't take nothing but time and effort. Time and effort. It don't take much money to learn how to wholesale. It takes time and effort, right? To get that capital so you can go buy, right? And then when it's a seller market, right? When everybody's selling, when I told you about the military people, when I moved to in 2022, when I moved to North Carolina, people were paying like 40,000 over asking price because they wanted a house so bad, close to base or close to post, and they're paying a lot more than they should have paid. And then all of a sudden, the market started going back down, and now they overpaid, and now they're over leveraged, and it was a seller market. They were getting the seller was making a lot of money, but everybody else was getting kind of screwed, right? Making sure nobody else getting in. All right, gotcha. So hedge funds, right? You have the biggest landlords. I think it's Chase Bank. The biggest landlord right now is Chase Bank. The banks start buying properties. The banks start taking properties away from mom and pops like us and hedging them together with money. Then you have stuff I forgot it's called sunflower or something. I can't even think of the name of it, but I know I had some people come to me and say, "Hey, you need to do this hedge fund with me and put money in here. We gather, we're buying apartment complexes and we're building them all around the world and doing this and that, right? You know, it's good, but if I give you my capital, I can't do nothing with it, right? So it's not sexy for me right now. It's more sexy for me to have my own capital and do what I do with it. And then the threats of, prices increase. When prices start increasing, your buying power down, right? Your buying power go down because you got to have so much money. All right, so that's a little bit about that. Ways to invest in real estate. You got passive and you got active. I do both. Passive is a person that just saying my money's going to work for me on a daily basis. I'm not going to be out there working physically. Active means I'm out there in the grind. I'm talking to real estate agents. I'm talking to wholesalers. I'm talking to sellers. I'm talking to buyers. I'm out there pumping the streets, driving for dollars. I'm out there buying business signs, posting them up, knocking them down. I'm out there knocking on doors. I'm out there putting business cards on people's walls, all that stuff. Passive investors are saying, hey, look, bring me the deal. Here's the money. Make my money, make money. Let's keep it going. Passive saying, I want my money to make money and I just make profits. I ain't got time for all that calling. I don't have time for running around. I don't have time to answer no phone for no leaky toilets and all this and that. I'm good. I just want my money to make money. I'm busy. Right. So I do both. I do both because that's part of the plan behind me. Your money got to make money over and over again. So you want your money put into something that's making money. All right. Types of real estate transaction that you can be doing right now. You got short-term leases. So you have so many people building new infrastructures all over the world. You have colleges building new colleges, and the people don't live in that college town. You have people building hospitals. They don't live in that town. So you have corporate rentals you can be doing. You can actually be renting your space out, your house out to 4 men or 4 women or 4 people that don't live in that city or state, but they're down there doing a job for this house to be built. And short-term leasing is when they probably give them a stipend and say, hey, look, we're going to give you $3,000 a month. You figure it out, right? Now you got 4 men maybe living in your house and you're charging maybe like 4,000. And they're excited because they're making like so much money a month off of it. They staying together and they profiting now. right? You also have pure living spaces. You have so many people nowadays that's not married. Unfortunately, they're not married and they want to live in a nice house and a nice home, but they can't afford it by themselves. So they don't mind partnering with somebody else on a nice house, a nice condo, a nice apartment complex, splitting the costs and staying there, right? Airbnb, I haven't done it. I want to try it out one time or two. I know many people have done it and they enjoy it, right? And I believe it's profit in it, right? But they started to make so many regulations in the city and the state and doing all this stuff, and they talking about hotel tax laws, all that stuff, man. And I just never got into it. But I am going to try it out at least one time just to try the strategy out and see how it works. But Airbnb is a way. You just need to get smart on making sure you understand the ins and outs, right? Make sure you're renting to people that stay out of town, not in town, right? And that's what I heard. So this is just what I heard. I haven't done it, right? And I don't want to go too much down that rabbit hole, but I heard that people that live in town kind of take advantage of the people, whereas when they come out of town, they just stand there. Now, when I do Airbnb, I plan on doing it close to a hospital so that I can do it for people coming in and visit loved ones. Again, providing a service for people in need. I wouldn't do it just in regular neighborhood. Not me. I would do it near a hospital, near an airport, near stuff like that. Right? That's just me. We already talked about wholesaling, creative financing. I kind of touched the base with. All right, and we're gonna move on. All right, 6 factors to examine. All right, I'm not going to go all the way in this. Yeah, it's almost 9:30. So look, we're going to go. We're going to start back. I'm going to stop this slide right here, and I'm going to brief this one. But we'll start here 2 weeks from now. First and third Mondays I'll be on. Second and fourth I have to pivot. I got some kids in a different program and the sheriff department, and I like to be there with them. And this has been running to my time. So first and thirds, I come on. And local economy, state taxes. So right now, if a house is vacant, the city is hurting. If no one paying taxes on that property, then your police officers, your firefighters, your ambulance people, your paramedics, the city, whatever the city officials are, that money is being not being provided, right? So it's important to understand that. We want to incentivize, the city would like to incentivize people to buy the properties. That's why they do tax sales, right? So I'm asking you to understand that you're doing a service when you do that. Employment and wage growth. You have now people working on a new property, right? You have plumbers, electricians, carpenters, all these folks coming in, and they're getting another person to provide them, to give them a resource. And once you get solid on it, you continue to grow with them. They continue to grow with you. And now you got a relationship that's working. You're employing people, and now wealth is being built. Population growth. You want to look at where people coming in at, where they finna start moving into. In Shreveport, Louisiana, 50 Cent is changing things. I love it. Most folks getting jealous and hating on them. Man, no, capitalize on it. I'm gonna say this right now in front of everybody. Now is the time that somebody should be making t-shirts. They're saying Boot City, Shreveport, Ratchet City, whatever. Now's the time you need to be getting your food trucks together, creating some kind of dish that only we have in Shreveport, right? And that only tastes like Shreveport people. And then you need to be going up there to those vineyards and trying to figure out how to get your permit so that you can be around the corner. Right. Again, I'm not here trying to harder the information. No folks say, why would you tell everybody it? Because guess what? Somebody may take action. Right. So that's some population growth. The population is going to grow here. And then I just got a newspaper article saying Hyundai is going to open up some facilities here for manufacturing cars here. So you want to look at increase in home values as well. You want to look around and make sure that, hey, these houses are probably increasing. Now, how much they increasing may be a different story. How soon they increasing, how rapidly they increasing, I don't know. How frequently they increasing, that's something you may want to look at. Increase in rent prices, right? That's another factor you want to look at. Is the rent increase in this community over this one? if that's important to you. For me, I know what number I want. I have a solid number saying I want to make this much money, $200 a month out this house, $300 out this house, $400 house. So the rent increase ain't that important to me because I already know my profit margin. And then rental yield, what are you yielding? How are you winning from this deal? So this will be the last slide I'll talk about tonight. And then next week when I get back on, I'll start with another slide 10. So I'll be starting on slide 10. So guys, I hope that you found this information to be good. I am. Hey there, how you doing there? Yeah, I'm live. I appreciate you. I was looking down the whole time. I hope that you find this information to be useful. Real estate is still the business to be in, no matter what's going on with the government, no matter what's going on with your job. This is a business. Now, I want to encourage you to look at it as a stock. Please look at it as a stock. Sometimes you got to put money into it, and sometimes it take a little loss every once in a while. I have houses in Virginia, I have houses in North Carolina that I'm not profiting off of, but guess what? Every time they pay their mortgage, they paying down my mortgage, right? And that's my profit. It's no profit in my pocket. I'm not making no money off of it, but they definitely paying down my mortgage. And then the house is appraising for more. So if the house is appraising for more and they paying down my mortgage, I'm not making money right now as we talk. But once I sell, you see the difference, right? So that's sometimes you got to look at it from a different spot, right? But that's all I have for y'all. I hope this was something that you wanted to hear, something you needed to hear. I will be seeing y'all back on the third April, the third Monday in April, the third. I don't know what date that is, but we'll see y'all back. I'll be back on TikTok and I'll be back on Investing Now 2021. If you want to reach out to me, please reach out to Why Wait to Be Great, or you can go to my Facebook page, or you can try and comment on here. I don't know how to read the comments in live, but I'm here, Coach T. I hope that I inspired, motivated, and encouraged you. That is my goal. Take care and good night.